The law is for everyone to follow, and no one is exempted from it, not even lawyers. No matter how intelligent they think they are, karma always gets them. Can attorneys get away with anything? Can they sway a ruling in favor of their clients or even themselves? Watch the video to see how these attorneys get owned by cops for breaking the law.
Las Vegas attorney in some trouble for a series of alleged late-night rendezvous with one of her clients.
Hal Uhrig, an area criminal defense attorney from Orlando, made headlines all over the country. Hal Uhrig, who represented George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin shooting incident, was arrested on various charges, which included soliciting perjury and tampering with a witness or victim. Marcos Lopez, Osceola County Sheriff, said that Uhrig took on a case involving a man named Krishnath Prasad, who had been charged of raping a 9-year-old girl. Uhrig was accused of holding a meeting with his client, the victim, and her father. Uhrig tried to cut a deal to keep the suspect from going to jail. During their meeting, Uhrig instructed the victim and her father to do 3 things. Firstly, to write a declination, that is a letter to the state attorney saying that the rape never happened.
Basically a letter to the state attorney saying the rape didn't happen.
Secondly, to avoid being served a subpoena so that they didn't have to go to court to testify, and lastly, to lie during their deposition and say that the rape didn't happen. According to Lopez, he wanted to make sure this guy didn't go to trial for rape. He added that Mr. Prasad committed the sexual battery at a time when she was 9 years old, and this is what caused Mr. Uhrig to work a deal out with the victim to try and get Mr. Prasad off on a lesser charge so that sexual assault battery cases will go to trial, and this will be a separate trial against the attorney. Even after being pressured to such an extent, the victim decided to come forward and report the conduct to the state attorney's office in July of 2021. Osceola County started an investigation against Prasad's attorney on the basis of the victim's complaint. The victim's father engaged in a controlled phone call with Uhrig and said that he couldn't talk on the phone about any specifics and wanted to meet in person. According to the officials, the father wore a recording device during his meeting with Uhrig, and during the meeting, the attorney made him turn off his cell phone and told the father to read a script off of his computer screen.
He wore a recording device, the victim's father. During the meeting, the attorney made him turn off his cell phone.
Lopez said that the script was his defense for when he goes to court on the charges. However, fate had other plans for them. Prasad, who was arrested back in 2019, is working his way through the court system. On the other hand, Uhrig is accused of soliciting to commit perjury, which is a 3rd-degree felony, and also for tampering with and harassing a victim, which amounts to a capital life felony. Given Uhrig's 40-year-long career, this might not be the first time he has done something like this. According to Lopez, if you're an attorney, you've been practicing law for a long time, and there's no way you're going to jeopardize your career on something like this, especially at that age. Especially at that age, it's retirement time. So I think this wasn't his first rodeo. Unless someone else comes forward, we won't know that, but that's what I suspect this time. The next attorney in line is Alexis Plunkett. This topsy-turvy case involves a 38-year-old attorney from Las Vegas named Alexis Plunkett, was indicted with 2 counts of conspiracy to unlawfully possess a portable communication device and 12 counts of a portable telecommunication device by a prison. The charges relate to her visit with her 28-year-old client and boyfriend at the time named Andrew Arevalo. This man was shot in the face by a high state correction officer in 2014. He also faced felony and weapon charges and was awaiting trial. His case was represented by Plunkett in his lawsuit against the Nevada Department of Corrections in connection with the shooting, which resulted in another man's death. During her visit, security camera footage shows Plunkett handing over her phone to Arevalo. Now, this is a felony that could land her in jail for a year. However, her case took a complicated turn. Even though the couple started off as boyfriend and girlfriend, they were experiencing rifts in their relationship after her phone was examined by the police. It seems that she is trying to put a hit on Arevalo. Her text messages about her joking about felonies led her to her downfall. Some of the texts read, "I've placed hits in every Nevada prison on Andrew with every homie and lifer I know." She further added, "This pause will never survive in prison now. He's F with the wrong bit. I am not the one. I represent all the sure-knows and he's gonna get it." However, one of the people in the group asked her to delete the message. He said, "Alexis, this isn't funny. I know you are under a tremendous amount of stress, but I'm not interested in joking about felonies. I don't think anyone is either. She replied,
I am not joking. That's why I said to delete it. He said he was going to have me murdered, so I'll take care of business first.
Plunkett's attorney Adam Solinger said that her messages show that she was under great stress and she was only venting about the bad situation she was in and that her words shouldn't be taken as a serious threat. Despite all of her 14-count indictment, Plunkett was dismissed by the district judge Michael Villani. However, she was shockingly arrested again for charges of bribing or intimidating a witness, which is a felony. According to her lawyer, her guilty plea comes after reaching an agreement with prosecutors. The agreement is a good resolution for all sides involved. It's the choice that she made that's best for her, and I respect that. Ultimately, it came down to being tired of continued litigation. Fighting a war on two fronts takes a toll on you, and remaining in custody pending your trial and resolution of your other case is really hard to do. She pleaded guilty of possession of a telecommunication device and was ordered to serve 3 years of probation and was later disbarred. In the next case, Christopher Reynolds, a 44-year-old Florida attorney, shocked everyone. He was accused of stealing nearly $800,000 from his clients. He was arrested by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for multiple charges, including money laundering and grand theft. He started his private practice in Seminole back in 2015, representing victims of vehicle crashes. He had dealt with at least 16 clients before they had their money stolen by Reynolds. It was back in October that the detectives came to know about the theft when one of Reynolds' clients came forward. The client complained to the authorities that her lawsuit for $100,000 had been settled months earlier. However, Reynolds never notified her about this. The investigators made a shocking discovery. Reynolds had forged his client's signature on the legal documents and collected the money from insurance companies that should have been disturbed to pay medical bills and provide other compensation related to car accident. This was a similar pattern for most of the clients that had availed his services. Once he had settled his case, he would disappear without a trace, never to be seen again. He would neither pick up the calls or respond to the voicemails and would cut off all forms of communication he had with the client's eye. In another incident, the lawyer pocketed the woman's $100,000 and continuously lied to her in the communications before it abruptly stopped that he was going to solve this with the insurance company. He also forged the woman's name on settlement documents, and he never paid her medical bills with the settlement money. His highest theft amounted to $148,750 from a client back in 2019. Sheriff Gualtieri claimed that the clients must have had serious injuries for their settlement money to be in 6 figures. Now, what did he do with the money he stole? The answer will shock you. The lawyer had a drug abuse problem. He used a portion of the stolen money to purchase drugs and nearly spent $30,000 on pornography and $424,000 on prostitution. Sheriff Gualtieri later commented, "They're licensed to practice law. They've got the boxes checked. They've got the credentials. They've got the credibility that goes with that, and they're really just a thief who is ripping them off." These are not isolated cases. Many lawyers who are corrupted and have been cheating people for years are roaming free in this world with no one to put a check on them. What do you think of these lawyers? Were they punished approximately? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for future updates.
In April 2023, Officer Scott Harrell, a 4-year veteran of the Texas City Police Department, allegedly initiated a traffic stop after observing a vehicle speeding and cutting through parking spaces at a gas station. Officer Harrell approached Christopher Scholl, the driver, and informed him about the alleged violations. Scholl denied any wrongdoing, stating that he was not speeding, that he regularly took the direct path through the parking lot to the gas pumps. Despite Scholl's compliance and explanation, Officer Harrell accused him of disregarding traffic control devices and threatened to issue a citation.
Before I'm stepping out of traffic, get lucky. Don't walk up to my car, please. What? Don't walk up to my car, please. Hey, man, you can't drive through a parking lot like that. You got your driver's license insurance? Any weapons in the car I need to worry about? Oh, man. Ford, did you catch my traffic?
Yes, sir. Have you on traffic here, bud?
Robert John Lincoln, 4732. Robert John Lincoln, 472. Chief, copy 27.
Thanks.
1441 6588 1441 6588. Is there any particular reason why you felt you needed to come through the parking lot like that?
I didn't think I did anything wrong. I just came over to get gas.
You were speeding and you cut through parking spaces. No, you can't do that.
It's just going to be confirmed on Robert.
I didn't think I was doing anything, man. I'm just.
I mean, you
all
walked
I'm doing
around.
is coming to get gas.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna go back and forth, or are you just gonna?
You asked me a question. You want me to answer it or not? I'm not.
Okay.
If anything, I thought I was going even slower than normal.
No, sir.
Because
You
normally people don't even park where you park, and that's the direct path to the gas pumps.
through the parking spaces. This is the direct.
I didn't realize that. I know that there's parking spaces there.
And you almost hit that car that was turning right there. I was watching, man.
The traffic stop was initiated on private property, and Texas law generally does not enforce traffic laws in parking lots, driveways, or alleys. Therefore, it can be argued that Mr. Scholl was unlawfully detained by Officer Harrell.
I just want
Thank
I'll take control.
you.
Meanwhile, the officer asked the man to show his license and checked it within his system if there was anything suspicious, but everything was clean.
So,
I'm not kidding you either, man. I come here every day, dude.
I'm not.
I send pictures of my wife the price of the gas here every day when I come through.
Okay, look.
So anyway,
Here's the deal, man. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth and all that. I'm not gonna write you tickets, but the only reason I'm not writing you tickets is because I'm out of tickets right now. Okay, otherwise you would be receiving a citation.
for what? What would be the citation? I'm just curious.
Disregarding traffic control device.
On private property?
Yes.
Okay.
You still can't do that. It's still illegal.
Okay.
During the interaction, Officer Harrell demonstrated a power trip, unlawfully detaining Mr. Scholl and making false accusations against him. Despite Mr. Scholl's attempts to de-escalate the situation, Officer Harrell persisted in his aggressive behavior. Nevertheless, Officer Harrell continued to escalate the situation by accusing Scholl of reckless driving and threatening to arrest him. Eventually, Officer Harrell arrested Mr. Scholl, claiming he believed Scholl would continue to engage in unsafe behavior in the future.
I was sitting right there, and he came through the parking lot and cut through all the spaces. He came through so fast and whooped into here, and there was a white truck. The white truck had to slam on its brakes. So I come over here. I was just gonna be like, "Hey, man, chill out. Like, chill out. Don't be like that." But he wanted to go back and forth and argue with me and give me all kinds of stuff. And like, I didn't have any tickets and I didn't grab a rider this morning. So I was like, "Man, look, it doesn't have to go this way." He kept going back and forth, so I was like, all right, let's go.
Another officer arrived at the scene, and Officer Harrell recounted the situation, portraying himself as the victim and Mr. Scholl as the aggressor. However, Officer Harrell realized his misconduct and decided to handle the situation differently. He cited Mr. Scholl for disregarding traffic control devices and allowed him to leave.
What motorcycle did you see?
Anything? Boy, Scholl's no longer in custody. Okay, I see you sign right here. It's not a admission of guilt. Mr. Scholl is no longer in custody. It's not an admission of guilt. It's just a promise to contact the court on or before the date time that's written on here. You can contact the court at the bottom here. The information's there and also up there. Free to go, sir.
Following the incident, Officer Harrell was placed on administrative duty and is under investigation by the Internal Affairs Department. The Texas City Police Department has strict policies against violating individuals' rights during encounters. Chief Joe Stanton announced that the results of the investigation will be made public once a final disposition is reached. Mr. Scholl, who considers himself pro-police, viewed the traffic stop as unjustified and a violation of his rights. He plans to take the case to trial and is considering civil action against the department. He has set up a GoFundMe campaign to cover legal fees for the potential lawsuit. And now let's move to another video. In a recent encounter involving the Cleveland Heights Police Department, a female officer was observed recklessly pulling in front of another vehicle while conducting a traffic stop. The driver of the other vehicle, who narrowly avoided an accident, began recording the incident on his mobile phone.
1 second! A1 Rio, stand by. It's going to be on Mayfield across from the first access road. Send me another unit because another party does not know how to yield to lights and sirens, and he's sitting here recording me. Say that I almost ran him off the road. You okay?
Yeah, I'm
Okay. I'm Officer Lewis with Cleveland Heights. The reason I'm for the traffic stop is the plates on the vehicle are expired.
Yeah,
Not even a big deal. Do you know that guy behind me in the Porsche?
I was trying to hurry up and move over.
You're good. No, you're good. You did the right thing. I'm put my lights out and sirens. He did not move over.
As the officer stepped out of her patrol vehicle, the officer expressed his concern over the near collision. The officer instructed the driver to wait while she proceeded with the traffic stop. However, the driver patiently parked behind the patrol vehicle and continued recording. The officer initially admitted her mistake and apologized to the driver, but during their conversation, she suddenly changed her stance, blaming the driver for her own errors.
Apologize.
You almost ran me off the road.
I initiated my lights and
I didn't hear
sirens.
anything.
What, was your music on? Because I had the lights and sirens
man.
on, sir.
You apologize.
I apologize.
You're wrong.
He stopped
I'ma let it
abruptly.
go.
Okay, I'm not wrong. The lights and sirens were activated.
You ran me
Okay,
off the road.
I did not
almost.
do that, sir. The lights and sirens
So
on
what
my
do you apologize
marked
for?
patrol because he stopped abruptly, causing me to stop
And I
abruptly,
almost caused an
causing
accident.
you to stop abruptly.
Right.
And I apologize for that. However, the lights and sirens were on. Okay, the police vehicle is marked. You can clearly see it's a marked
You're next to
patrol
the man.
vehicle. I initiated lights and
I don't
sirens.
wanna argue with
I'm
you.
not going to argue, and I'm telling you I do. I'm going to tell you I do apologize
Right.
that he did stop
But I'm
abruptly.
going to tell you the disconnect.
Nobody was
I'm
wrong.
going to tell you the disconnect, right? So between the public and you as a public
You want
servant,
me to just that driver check, okay?
if it's something wrong and you actually
Yeah.
did it, all you say, my bad. I'm
And
sorry,
I did. I just
and
said,
keep going.
I
Instead
said
of
my
saying-
bad. I said, I activated a I initiated a traffic stop in a marked vehicle with lights and sirens.
Right.
If you didn't hear the sirens or see the lights,
I mean, you called back up to your thing.
well, I called back up because somebody was getting out of a cop car.
The situation escalated when the officer called for backup and her supervisor, a sergeant, arrived at the scene. The sergeant immediately confronted the driver, accusing him of obstructing and interfering with the traffic stop despite not being present during the initial interaction. The sergeant failed to articulate if the driver was being detained or not, but he continued to escalate the situation.
You called back up for your safety, but
Well, you don't pull up behind an officer on a traffic stop.
you don't even know what's going on.
You're right, I don't.
So why are you saying that?
Because I'm here and what you're doing right now is against the
You
law.
almost ran me off the road.
Okay, well then you should have pulled over for lights and sirens. She said it on the radio that you didn't yield. And it's on dash cam, I'm assuming.
Just the disconnect, man.
Sir,
I'll tell you what, let her finish her business and then we can sit down and talk like
we're
adults.
good. I'm going to let him go. We're good. I'm going to let him go.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. What was your last name?
My last name?
Yeah.
Why you need my last name?
Because I'm asking who I'm talking to. You asked me who you were talking to.
You're not, well, not now you're going to be under arrest because what you're doing is illegal.
Listen.
What you're doing is illegal. I can charge you for interfering with
Just give me your last name.
Why?
Because I'm conducting business with you right
I'm
now.
not being detained. Or am I pretty
If you
good?
want to be.
10-4. That's not going to
how
be
it
the
works.
driver.
What's your RS?
Stand by.
What's your reasonable articulate
Okay.
suspicion of my crime?
I'm going to get rid of him.
Hold on, I'll explain it to you, okay?
Am I being detained?
With you right
Am
now.
I being detained?
If you want to be.
10-4. That's
No,
not
that's not how it works. What's your RS?
Stand by.
My RS?
Reasonable articulate
Okay.
suspicion of my
Okay,
crime.
here,
I'm gonna get
first,
rid of
okay, hold on. I'll explain it to you, okay? Doing what you're doing right now.
No, sir, she almost ran me off the road.
Okay. Again, you didn't yield to lights and siren. You came out.
She was next to me and stopped and almost ran me off the road.
Okay,
What are you talking
okay,
about?
listen to me. You asked my reasonable articulable suspicion. It's not a
I'm not
probable
under
cause.
arrest. If you arrest me, you violate my right.
I don't want to arrest you. We have to
You're
ID
going to
you.
violate my right. That's what you're going to
Okay,
do?
we have to ID you. You
No,
understand
you
that? Yes, we do.
All right, I'm a videotape.
Okay, we got you on camera
I'm
too.
going to call, then come get the car. You're violating my right.
Come getting, who's getting what car?
They can come, you're going to arrest
Radio,
me,
another
right?
car here. I got a male who's obstructing.
No, I'm not.
And he's
She
refusing to
almost
identify
ran me off
himself.
the road.
So I'll take a report on it, but I need your ID.
No.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with her.
The driver explained what had transpired to the sergeant, but both officers insisted on obtaining his identification, even though no crime had been committed. The sergeant eventually handcuffed the driver, alleging obstruction and interference.
Listen,
Right.
I'm asking you to identify yourself so I can let my dispatcher know who I'm out with. If you don't identify yourself, that is obstruction. You are the one that came
Obstruction
out.
is a secondary crime.
It's
What crime did I commit?
There's no crime, but I'm
So if there's no crime, I don't
I'm
need to
identifying
identify.
you. Okay.
Thank-
I need your driver license.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to arrest you if you don't identify yourself.
She just said it was no crime.
It is
Listen.
a crime. Obstructing is a
What
crime.
crime?
Obstructing
You have to
is a
legally
crime.
Identify yourself, Tosh.
She almost ran me off the road.
And then I still have to identify.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call then come to charge. You can arrest me.
Okay, turn it off. Because
I didn't do anything.
Okay, turn it off. Turn it off.
I didn't do anything.
Listen, just all you have to do
I don't have my ID with me.
Okay, what's your cell?
Your date of birth. That's not what we asked for.
For what?
Because I need to let my dispatcher know. It's not a big deal. Last name, sir.
Kern, man.
Kern?
You know what happened. Why are you letting him do this?
He's the sergeant.
He's violating my rights.
He is not. He
Come here, have a
didn't
seat. We're gonna give you a
identify
ticket when we
yourself.
send you on your way. You have valid driver's license?
Yeah, I do. You violate my rights, man.
Yeah, well, you're getting a ticket for interfering with the fast.
How did I interfere? She almost ran me off the road.
And you could have pulled off and waited and called.
I did wait when she said wait.
You were out here talking to her. Have a seat.
Mr. Kern, just
Don't push me, man.
Have a seat.
Why are you so full of machismo, man?
Dude, have a seat. I'm not putting up with your okay? Have a seat.
What's wrong with you, man?
Have a seat.
I'm sitting down.
All the way in.
if he
He's going
checks,
for obstructing. Or he's getting a
you're
ticket
gonna.
for
I
obstructing.
don't.
Is he valid?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the radio to say what. So this is what happened.
Uh-huh.
That vehicle matched the description of the vehicle from Weird yesterday.
Okay.
I saw it. I initiated a traffic stop.
Okay.
That person, instead of like pulling over, he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
And I'm getting behind him, but he stopped abruptly.
Okay.
This guy was very close to him.
Okay.
And we almost did get into an accident.
Okay.
Because that driver stopped
Did
so
you have your license
abruptly.
siren on?
I did, yes.
Gets a ticket for there's always sounds part about this.
Okay.
He's getting a ticket for
Radio, you want to
failing to yield to an emergency vehicle?
Yes, radio, I do. That's why I provided it.
Goes to a Demetrius Raphael Kern. It's a 37-year-old male. He's valid. That's fine.
So he gets a ticket and then he can come to
Listen, I don't feel like I need to give him a ticket for that.
Okay.
I'm
But then
cool
he
with
gets
just,
for obstructing.
okay. I mean, I'm cool with letting him go. He didn't understand.
He's in handcuffs.
And he's being a jerk.
He obstructed. He refused.
This was a baseless assumption, as the driver had simply waited on the side of the road until the officer finished her traffic stop. The driver provided his information to the officers, although he was not legally required to do so. The sergeant's behavior demonstrated an unjustified power trip, while the first officer seemed to acknowledge her mistake and attempted to rectify it.
You guys got a lawsuit
Mr. Kern,
coming.
just hang on. Just
You got a lawsuit coming.
Listen, let me explain to you. You don't get out of the car yet. The sergeant wants me to give you a ticket for obstruction, okay? I'm not going to do anything else.
I didn't.
Listen, he's the boss. He is the boss.
I don't have to refuse if I didn't commit a crime. This isn't a stop and ID state.
At this point, it is a traffic stop because you're out on a
almost ran me
traffic
off
stop.
the road.
Mr.
You
Kern,
know
we
it.
just had that conversation. I did not almost run you off the road.
That Tesla has cameras in it. So
Okay.
you guys are going to pay for this.
Okay, that's fine. The court.
Mr. Kern, I apologize. I really do. And this is on body cam, alright? This is, the sergeant's telling me to do this, so listen, I'm just doing what I'm told to do, alright?
Afterwards, the driver was released from handcuffs, but the sergeant insisted on pursuing charges. The first officer apologized to the driver, stating she was just following orders. The driver expressed his intention to take legal action against both officers and the police department, citing violation of his rights.
Here's your property.
Hold on, let me get this name.
Sure.
Hey, just put your one.
Some janky rusty ass stuff.
Right.
You want to sign or are you going to refuse? Alright, I'm going to give you a copy of it.
You guys violated my rights. You know.
Well, we'll all be in court.
Ultimately, the driver received a citation and a court date for obstruction. However, just 11 days later, the prosecutor filed a motion to dismiss the case due to a lack of evidence. The driver plans to proceed with a civil lawsuit against the officers and the department.